If you or anyone you know has ever dealt with gum disease, you know just how maddening it can be, right? You brush, you floss, you go to the dentist, but it just feels like this constant losing battle. Well, today we're going to dive into some source material that offers a totally different perspective on what might really be going on.
And that really gets to the heart of the mystery, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. We're all exposed to the same kinds of bacteria. It's on our food, in the water, pretty much everywhere. So why is it that one person can be perfectly fine while the person next to them is dealing with a full-blown crisis in their mouth? According to this source, figuring that out is the absolute key.
For a lot of people, the whole thing starts pretty subtly. You might notice a little bit of pink in the sink when you brush. Then comes that persistent bad breath that no amount of mouthwash seems to fix. And then, the one that really gets scary is when your teeth start to feel loose. That's the sign that the problem is way deeper than just your gums.
This quote from the source just hits you because it captures that panic so well. It's not just about aesthetics or losing a tooth. It's about the very structure of your face. The idea that this disease is literally eating away at the bone that holds your teeth in place. Yeah, that's a race against time you do not want to lose.
Okay, so what's the standard game plan when this happens? You head to the dentist, right? You get the cleanings, the treatments, but the source material we're digging into today makes a bold claim that this whole conventional approach is basically just fighting half the battle.
And this is the cycle that drives so many people crazy. You go through a deep cleaning, maybe you're on a special rinse, and things get better. For a little while. But then, a few weeks or a few months later, it's back, and sometimes it's even worse than before. The source says this happens because you're only ever treating the smoke, not the fire. And when those surface-level treatments stop working, the options get, well, pretty medieval. This quote really paints a picture of the fear, doesn't it? The thought of these kinds of surgeries is terrifying. It's a sign that you've moved from prevention to just, desperate damage control. So this is where the theory we're exploring takes a huge, unexpected turn. The argument is that we've been looking at the wrong villain this whole time. What if the real enemy is your own body's defense system?
Now look, we all know bad bacteria are the bad guys here. They're the ones that start the whole mess. But the source argues that's just chapter 1. On their own, these bacteria just aren't strong enough to cause the kind of widespread destruction we see in serious gum disease.
And here's the punchline from the source. The real problem isn't the strength of the attack. It's the weakness of the defense. It's an immune system that just isn't up to the task of kicking those specific bacteria out. They set up camp in your mouth because your internal security guards just can't get rid of them.
And this is what the source calls the tragic irony. Your immune system is smart enough to know there's an invasion, so it does what it's supposed to do. It floods the area with inflammation to fight. But because it's too weak to actually win, the battle just rages on, forever. And it's that constant, never-ending inflammation that starts destroying your own healthy tissue and bone. Your body is causing the damage in a failed attempt to protect you.
All right, so if a weak immune system is the real culprit, the next logical question is, why is it weak? And the answer, according to this source, isn't found in your mouth at all. We have to look a lot deeper.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, right? It's not like your entire immune system is broken. You can probably fight off a cold just fine. So why does it have this one blind spot, this one specific weakness against the germs that cause gum disease? Where's that coming from?
And the answer, believe it or not, is in your gut. The theory laid out here is that the good bacteria in our digestive system, our microbiome, are basically the drill sergeants for our immune system. They train our immune cells, tell them who to attack and who to leave alone. So if your gut health is a mess, your immune system is basically an army with no training.
So let's just trace this chain of events they've laid out. It all starts in the gut with an imbalance of bacteria. That leads directly to a confused, weakened immune system. That weak immune system can't handle the bad bacteria in your mouth, which finally leads to that chronic inflammation that we call gum disease. You see, it's presented as a series of dominoes, one knocking over the next.
So, if the problem is a chain reaction that starts deep inside you and ends in your mouth, well, any real solution has to fight on both fronts. And that's exactly what the source proposes, a two-pronged attack.
The strategy laid out here is actually pretty simple and logical. Step 1, you deal with the urgent problem on the outside. You attack the bad bacteria in your mouth, but, and this is key, using natural stuff that doesn't wipe out the good bacteria. Step 2, you play the long game. You fix the problem from the inside by rebuilding your gut health, which in turn supercharges your immune system so this never happens again.
This chart really puts the two philosophies head-to-head. You see the conventional approach over here, attacking only from the outside, often killing all the bacteria, good and bad, and totally ignoring the immune system. Then you have this source's approach, attacking from the outside and inside, being selective about only killing the bad bacteria and making the immune system the hero of the story.
So what's the big takeaway here? At the end of the day, the core idea is that your mouth isn't some isolated part of your body. It's a mirror reflecting what's going on deep inside of you. True oral health, it argues, has to come from the inside out.
Now, whenever someone says restore gut health, your brain probably jumps to, oh great, some miserable, restrictive diet. But the source is really clear that this is not about that. It's about adding more of the right foods. Simple stuff you can get at any grocery store. And hey, it even says there's a type of chocolate that helps. I mean, you can't argue with that.
And this is supposedly the end result of that inside-out approach. This quote from the case studies says it all. It's not just about stopping the destruction. It's about seeing and feeling things get better. Healthy, pink gums, clean breath. It's about getting your confidence back.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. If this theory is onto something, if our oral health is truly connected to our gut and our immune system, it really makes you wonder, right? What other messages are our bodies sending us through symptoms we think are just random? What else could we be missing?